So welcome everybody. On behalf of Debbie, Olivia, and myself, we want to welcome you to Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday. If this is your first time to visit, please type hashtag newbie in the chat and the name of the person that invited you here. To make it easier for follow-ups, we ask that you wait till we prompt you to put all of your items in the chat so that our chat doesn't get discombobulated, as they say on the Grinch. So what to expect today? This is just one of our many platforms that we've been doing, as well as what we've got planned for the upcoming year. Visitors, you can visit us 2 times for free. That gives you plenty of time to take us for a test drive to see if you're a good fit. If we're not, that's okay. We still love you anyways. We want to connect with you, but by all means, we want you to find the tribe that's right for you. We're trying to build a certain culture here in this group, and we are filled with heart-centered entrepreneurs that help one another rise higher, go further, faster. If this is not you, if you don't have a servant's heart and you're not ambitious and all of those things, that's okay. Just go find you a tribe that fits that bill. We hope that is you, and we would love to have you join our group. A couple of things, because we are growing and we need to set some boundaries here. So for just a reminder for multitasking, if you need to be on the phone or if you're doing something other than participating and we can see that, we ask that you turn your video off because this is very distracting. Everybody here, we need your undivided attention during this time. We're going into our Learn series, our professional development. We want to make sure that we give our guest speakers the respect that they deserve. So during that time, when we have our presenters, we ask that you refrain from chatting amongst yourself in the chat unless it pertains to the topic, or if the speaker has asked you a question or in some way wants you to interact in some way during the presentation. We did not have a theme this week. I did ask you, I believe, to maybe think about a goal that you have for the upcoming year. So when we go around here shortly, that's one thing that I'll be asking you for. So let's discuss our theme for next week. What would you think would be a good theme for next week? Anybody have any ideas?
Favorite Christmas cookies?
Oh, we've been doing food quite a bit.
I know.
Lately.
How about like Christmas movie or Christmas song?
There you go. There you go. Why don't I like that? I like that. No, I'm not trying to dish you, Juanita.
Oh, no, that's okay.
We just been doing food so much that I thought we might need to give that a break.
How about this doesn't have to be this week. It could be anytime, maybe before the end of the year, our favorite or best gratitude saying. Now that the year's coming to an end,
yes,
we have a lot to be grateful for.
Yes. Why don't we do that as our last one, because we're not going to be here on the 25th. So let's do that. Not this coming week, but the last week, that we'll be meeting before the end of the year. I love that. Love that idea. We have a little gratitude. I have to show it to you guys. It's the emoticon smiley face, but it's a vase. And we put things that we're grateful for. We started out real good and then we kind of fell off the wagon, but I had my grandkids and everybody putting little things in there throughout the year on things that they're grateful for. And I love that. And that is so
Nancy,
important. Yes, Bruce.
Nancy, we're not meeting on the 25th since that's Christmas. The following week is January 1st.
Right. So we'll have 2 weeks that we won't be meeting, because we will not meet on January 1st either. I want you to be able to celebrate that time. So we'll have 2 weeks that we will be missing.
Gratitude Day will be December 18th.
Yes.
I put that in the chat.
Yes, December the 18th will be gratitude. And then next week we will do our favorite Christmas movie or song. Do we want to just say Christmas movie or song, or just say Christmas movie?
Could be either.
I'm a big fan of movies. I love Christmas movies.
All right, that's what we'll do. So let's go ahead and do a good screenshot, because we haven't had one in a while. So everybody look at your screen. I'll do my little countdown, and we've got a couple of screens today. 3, 2, 1. Okay, there's screenshot 1. Let's do another one. 3, 2, 1. And one more for good measure. Hang on here. Oh, got my mouse in the way. 3, 2, 1. All right. You will be able to save the chat after the event is over. And if you don't know how to do that, we'll remind you at the end. It's down at the bottom of your chat, the 3 little dots. Now is the time for you to put your contact information, if you have a special offer for today, and your links in the chat. Now, we are a referral partnership group, and we do expect everyone to reach out and make connections. That is what we're all about. We do joint ventures together, we do co-op projects, and we refer business to one another, and we do business together. So ever how you want someone to reach out and follow up with you, put that information in the chat. Now, don't write a book, because we have to go through all of this, and sort through that. But please put your contact information. If you have a tagline or something like that, now would be the time for you to do that. So we're going to also, while I'm thinking about it, do not repeat your offers and all your contact information again in the chat. We only need it one time. We have a big group here, and it's hard when you go down through there and you really want to follow up with someone and you see the same stuff 15 times in the chat. So we ask that you don't do that. So let's welcome our visitors. Who do we have in here today? Let's see here. Get through my screen. Somebody want to help me out? I know I saw somebody in here just a minute. Rebecca White. Come on down. Tell us about yourself. Welcome.
Hi, thanks. I'm a writer and strategy consultant for nonprofits. I help mission-driven organizations develop and create their compelling stories so that they can better demonstrate their impact. I work a lot with smaller organizations, helping them improve the processes that are kind of getting in their way, and then also with larger organizations with more comprehensive. And I was invited by Irina Whitmer, who I adore, and she's amazing. So this is my second visit, actually, so that I can see if I'm a good fit for what you guys are hoping to do.
Well, fantastic. We're so glad you came back. Do you have a certain area for nonprofits that you like working at, like a certain industry type or a certain service orientation that you prefer?
Nope, mission-driven organizations are typically who I work with, and that could be nonprofits, government, church organizations, religious organizations, just anyone who's mission-driven.
Okay, fantastic. All right, let's go around and introduce ourselves. And what I would do, the 30-second pitch, and what I would like for you to do is give us one thing that's on your goals list for the upcoming year. Just one thing. So do a short little intro, your name, what you do, and one of your goals. Claudio, we'll start with you.
Morning, everyone. I'm Claudio. I'm with a company called Cash FX, and what I do is I help you create probably the easiest passive income you'll ever have. If you'd like to learn more, I'd be happy to show you. My motto is, why put your money in the bank so they can make billions of dollars in profits in the foreign exchange market when Cash FX will do it on your behalf. If you want more information, my hashtag is hashtag the money guy, and my goal for next year, which I know I will hit, is to retire my wife. So I'm really excited, and I know Cash FX is what's going to help me do that. Thank you.
Fantastic. Gary.
Hi, do you know someone who is dissatisfied or unhappy in the career they have? Maybe you're unhappy with the career you currently have. If so, give me a call. My name is Gary Sizemore, and I'm a career ownership coach. I work hard to get you information about new career possibilities and help you make highly informed decisions. Those highly informed decisions will keep you from making mistakes, hopefully. Give me a call at 502-558-5280 or put hashtag own your career in the chat. My goal for the rest of the year is to continue to build and get a better client base as I work forward into the new year.
All right. Debbie with the Y McKinney.
Hey, I'm Debbie McKinney, and that's Debbie with the Y from Destin, Florida. And my goal, I'll just start with that, is to continue growing my business with LinkedIn. And thank you, Olivia. You are such an amazing teacher and person. So anyway, and so for anybody who has been eating a little bit too much, or you notice your jeans are not quite fitting, you've been enjoying the holidays, all the pies and things like that. Mid-December, we've got a huge discount coming on a weight loss program, and it's an all-in-one transformational. My information is in the chat. So if you'd like to receive first notification of that, let me know. Debbie McKinney, just add Zeal.
All right. Thank you, Barry.
Okay, well, hi, everybody. I am Barry, and I help you and your family with your health and beauty and well-being by introducing you to North America's #1 online wellness shopping club with naturally powered, high-performance, exceptional products, but at reasonable prices. You're not making a buying decision, you're making a shopping decision. So you just switch stores and shop at Melaleuca. We're over 35 years old. We're the original green company, the original essential oils company, and we manufacture over 450 products so you can take care of yourself and your loved ones. And I always point out, I don't sell any of those 450 products. All I do is refer you and you go shopping yourself. So I'd love to introduce you to Melaleuca, the wellness company. My calendar's in the chat. Hashtag Melaman. And my goal for next year is to take care of 100 more new families and coach at least 6 people in how to do that themselves.
Good job. We've got a lot of people here and y'all have been going over a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got my timer setting here on your intro. Let's make that 30 seconds and then roll right into your goal for the year, if you don't mind. Balbir, would you go next, please?
Hi, everyone. Did you know that about 80% of hacking related breaches are due to compromised, weak, reused passwords? Last month, actually October, hackers were able to gain access to various types of personal information from the clients of North Face. They are an apparel, winter clothing company. So what the hackers did, they actually reused, let me rephrase that. They got, okay, sorry. My goal for next year is actually to, hopefully when COVID and our restrictions have been lifted, is to go and visit my parents in the UK as many times as I can.
Very nice. Love that.
Thank you.
Juanita.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. My name's Juanita Harvin, and I'm the founder and CEO of Your Way Tours, a full-service travel agency and a military family-owned business. We'd like to be your global travel agency for your global adventures. We specialize in European adventures to castles, vineyards, ancestry tours, and wellness tours around the globe. And we do it affordably. So dream now, plan now, travel now. Hashtag global tours and trips. And my goal is to continue growing my business, but to evolve with the LinkedIn portion of it.
Oh boy, Olivia, sounds like you got business galore for the upcoming year, girlfriend. All right, Helen Snell, come on down.
Good morning. I'm Helen Snow with Redlines, and this morning on social media, I told a story about kale. I actually feel like with how my face looks on this video call this morning, I should have told a story about candy because I look like an Oompa Loompa. So I actually tell stories about the direct link between our health and the health of the planet. And I also use storytelling to emotionally connect entrepreneurs to their audience. I provide biographies and profiles, web content, and marketing materials. And I would love to learn your story. Hashtag storyteller if you want to connect. And my goal Actually, I'm going to share two. On a personal sense, I'm actually hoping to move to a rural property in 2021, expand my garden and all of those things. And in my business, I'm looking to put some online programs together for storytelling to teach entrepreneurs how to do storytelling themselves. Thanks.
Very nice. Bruce Barnes.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Bruce Barnes. I am proud to offer Isagenix wellness products. They promote using nutritionally supported intermittent fasting. And a few months ago, I completed a 16-week challenge, and I easily released 14 pounds and took off 5 inches around my waist, which I'd been struggling for years to do. And I just, in the chat, along with my contact information, I put in some of the new products they just released, the limited edition. So check them out, caramel brulee shake and an apple cinnamon crisp bar. So my goal for finishing this year is complete my book and just going in, also working on getting more coaching clients going into the next year.
Very nice. Priscilla?
Oh. Okay. Hello, I'm Priscilla Rose from Legal Shield, ID Shield. Legal Shield provides you advice, counseling, and other legal benefits at an affordable price. They also have an identity theft program that will provide not only monitoring alerts, but also privacy management and true restoration services, where our licensed investigators will put your identity back the way it was before the identity theft issue occurred. Okay, as far as my goal is concerned, I would like to learn more about social media to help my business grow. And I know with this group, there are a lot of people who I could talk to do that. So I'm going to start doing that.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
You were right on the money. You were right on that 30 seconds. Good job. Carol Ward.
Hello, everyone. I am Carol Ward. I'm a money wellness coach. So I help business owners by managing the beliefs about money so that they can increase their sales, eliminate or reduce missed opportunities, and increase their self-confidence. And my goal for next year going forward is I was just presented with a lovely opportunity which fills the wellness part of my money wellness program. And it is a product, and I will be unfolding that next year. So that is my goal, to be promoting the product part of my business. So I will have a service and a product next year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ellie Sheffy. Come out of the dark, sister.
Well, it's because it's such a glorious day behind me that, you know, it's all good. I'll take it. I'll bask in the sunlight of the glory. So I'm Allie Sheffy, and all you see is a shadow, and that's okay. I am your go-to expert for practical, easy to implement, results-driven tools and strategies that facilitate change. I work with entrepreneurs, I work with authors, I work with women, and I work with youth. So whatever you need, I've got you covered. As far as my goals for next year, my first 3 books were out this year. So I'm working on book 4 with Jack Canfield next year, and launching my nonprofit in January.
Congratulations. You have had a very busy year and a past very busy 6 months. It's been amazing. Goodness. And I'm telling you, all of us have loved watching you. It's been amazing.
Thank you.
Lori Scott, Queen Lori.
Hey, I have to ask you, have any of you, or do you remember going out in the morning, going to your garden and picking a fresh strawberry that has dew on it yet and taking a bite out of it? And remember the flavors and how delicious it was? Well, and if you have not, I am all about you having that experience, and that your strawberry will be the healthiest, richest. Oh, That was fast. Okay. I will be the richest for you. My target for the year is to take my product to market, and I'm in the right place at the right time.
Very good. Jessica, I love the Santa Claus hat today. Welcome.
Cover up the bad hair day I'm having. So everybody knows what I do. I do sales and marketing consulting, LinkedIn and social media training, but better than that, we do it all for you. So if you don't want to have to figure it out, you don't want to have to do it, that's what we do. I have a huge team of a brilliant, amazing people who are like your elves. And when you wake up in the morning, all the tasks are done for you. My goal is, Nancy's looking at me. She's thinking I'm going to shut this one up, but I'm already at my goal. So go for me, sister. My goal is to have 150 new clients by the second quarter of next year. And we are on track, and I'll be onboarding 20 more this month. So we are killing it and kicking it. And I am loving that I've got a chance to work with Ellie. And my goal is for our January events to go killer. I'm done.
All right. Good job. Good job, Jessica. And congratulations. You have also been killing it this year. Kelly Alexander.
Are you dissatisfied with the massive, complicated US tax code, the record keeping, forfeiting chunks of your income, fear of IRS audits? Hi, my name is Kelly Alexander, founder of Great American Tax Remedy. Prior to 1913, none of these obligations existed. I can turn back the clock, legally and ethically freeing you from these tax burdens. Hashtag American Dream. My goal for next year is I'm in the process of creating a 5-part webinar series online for education and, study for my clients.
Very good. You were about 4 seconds under your 30 seconds. So good job on your intro and good luck on those goals coming up. All right, let's see here who we have. Susan, come on down.
Hi, everyone. I'm Susan from Balanced Senses, and I help individuals improve their health and well-being by providing them with the knowledge that they need to be happier and healthier in their business world and the personal world. I do this by using natural products, balance testing for omegas 3, 6, and 9, and soon to be offering frequency healing technology. So do you suffer from brain fog, pain, anxiety, or maybe just want to lose those love handles before Christmas? A lot of these ailments stem from poor gut health. So let's heal your gut and put you on the road to better health. Self-care is the new healthcare. I'd love to have a virtual coffee with anyone to learn about what tools you have in your toolbox and what is in mine. And my goal for next year is to become a pro at follow-up.
Good job. Good job. All right. Kate Unger, come on down.
Good morning, good afternoon. I am Kate Unger. I am your image and healthy lifestyle consultant. I help busy entrepreneurs go from decision fatigue to getting dressed with power and ease and rocking the stage in their life. So, you have 7 seconds to impact, and people see color even before style. These are both massively, massively important, and we need to actually get ourselves harmonized to be heard for where we are. I'm always creating something new, so.
That's okay. That's the name of the game in this group.
Yeah.
What's one of your goals for the upcoming year?
One of my goals is to transform 1,000 closets for next year, image and lifestyle, and therefore naturally inspire and elevate people's confidence to reduce their stress, increase their impact, and therefore increase their income.
Very nice. Olivia Vo.
Hey there, everyone. My name is Olivia. I am your LinkedIn visibility authority. So let me help you go from invisible to visible on LinkedIn. And I do this through my unique training and interactive webinars, which I host weekly, twice now. So Tuesdays is demo days and Wednesday is the webinar content. So the registration link is in the comments. And my goal for next year is to submit an application for LinkedIn Live so I can have my own broadcast show, the Olivia Vo Show.
Nice.
Wow, you got that done, everything. And you still had 2 seconds on your 30 seconds. So good job. Good job. Kay Lehman.
Merry Christmas. I am Kay Lehman, and are you guys looking for that perfect pampering gift or a gift of health for one of your loved ones, yourself, or a family member or friend? If you do, my information is in the chat, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas.
What is one of your goals?
Oh man, I have like this huge goal with like 75 little goals underneath it to get there. But one of our biggest goals, my husband and I, is completely revamping our financial and business structures and getting everything in line, up to date, accurate, correct, and rocking.
Good deal. We love that clock in the background. That was beautiful.
My dad.
Who knew? Right at the right time, right?
Yeah, my dad made that clock.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Jock, are you available to do yours?
Yes, I am. Jock McLeese, Enchanted Marketing. And how would you like to spend $25 and get $400 back? How would you like to be able to give that to your customers and have them reminded of you all year long? I have a gift card app that you give to clients. It's white labeled with your name on it every time they shop all through the year. They see your company name, and they typically will save $400 during the year. So instead of just giving out a gift card or some other little thing, do that instead. Hashtag promo optimize, and my goal is optimize my CRM.
Very good. Sarah Bazan.
Hi, everyone. I am a prosperity coach. I train and coach entrepreneurs and experts to become empowered leaders in order to grow and scale their business. And on the online universe that we are right now, videos are an incredible way to create more clients and more just exposure. So I have a video visibility course where you will learn to create profitable videos and get more exposure. So I look forward to talking to you all.
And what is one goal that you have for the upcoming year?
Yeah, my goal is to expand my coaching and training program. So I'm really excited about it.
All right, fantastic. And Sarah also, like Kate, has a beautiful singing voice, as she demonstrated on one of her videos.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Kataka, I don't think we were introduced to you in the beginning. Welcome aboard. Would you like to give us an introduction and tell us a little bit about you? First of all, who invited you?
Good morning. My friend Vivian Geffen. This is my second time being on this. I was on it with Olivia before, who was really great at shepherding me into, introducing me with everybody. So I thank her for that. And yeah, this is totally awesome. I would say that I do, I'm a Jill of all trades. I do a lot of things. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have a Reiki school in Los Angeles called We Heal University. I have been a longtime network marketer, long time in Isogenics for like 12 years. And although that is one of my tools on my tool belt, I use it as a foundational piece with my Reiki school. And then the other thing I do is I actually, I'm calling myself, just trying this on, the Yelp of business coaches. And so what that means is I'm, in a nutshell, I talk to very, very beginner business owners who are trying to seek out an actual coach and a program for themselves. And I sit with them for 90 minutes and talk to them about their business and do business strategy with them and possibly suggest certain programs that would fit their needs.
All right. Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you. Hope you're enjoying yourself.
Thank you.
I believe that I have included everyone now. Let's go into our kudos, celebration, and recognition. First of all, do we have any December birthdays or anniversaries this month coming up that we need to know about? Anybody? No December babies?
Only on the 25th.
What?
I said only the 25th.
Well, there you go. There you go.
January 12th.
Don't count yet. See, she's always trying to sneak something in every single time. Okay. Do you have any kudos or any celebrations that we need to know about? Anything that's going on in your world this week or in the upcoming week for December? Yes, Bruce.
Yes, as I've been doing podcast interviews with some of the TEDx speakers that are going to be in Vegas next month. Well, one of those is got a program on, preventing teen suicide, and she's got an event coming up that I'm going to be talking on her event on the 20th.
Fantastic. I know Jeffrey's not able to be there today. Jeffrey Berger, he's a featured speaker on a 3-day summit. So he's out this week, and I can't wait for him to get back and tell us about his trip from Mexico that he had. Any others that we need to know about? Yes, Helen.
I almost forgot about this, so I had to leave and go pick up this book. I'm a published author as of about 2 weeks ago. This is a book project that really spoke to my heart. It's called For the Love of Our Children. And I'm a mother of a special needs child. So these are all stories written from parents of special needs children to help other parents understand the world that they may be. So that's my big story this week.
Well, congratulations on that. I know that is going to be a blessing to many, many parents and grandparents out there. Anybody else? Let me see. Make sure I'm not missing anybody's hand.
I have a non-business tale to tell.
Okay, go ahead.
Steve and I took our camper down southern Florida. We pulled into the campsite and there were people sitting at our picnic table. She goes, come here, come here, come here. So walked over there because it was on the river. And we got there just in time to watch the otter eat the fish it caught. It was so cool.
Oh, that is neat. I remember in 6th grade, I did a special report on otters. And that's funny that you remember, out of all the reports that you do in school, I found those otters to be fascinating creatures. Oh,
they are. It's like, what are the chances, right?
Right. Exactly. Barry, did you have something you wanted to share?
Yeah, I did. Just wanted to remind everybody on December the 10th from, I hate my memory with numbers, 9 to 11:30, the Power Connectors Breakfast. It's a round table. Come and join us. I'll put the information in the chat.
Okay, we'll hit that in the events in just a minute. So let's hold off on the events right now. Jessica,
Okay.
if you've got an event, let's hold off on it.
Not an event. I just want to celebrate something silly and small and excited that happened to me. I was on a client consultation. I gave a client advice, and she took the advice 2 different ways. And in both ways, she immediately, she had 8 responses and results in less than 8 minutes. She was floored. So I had her word something a certain way for a person to achieve something. And that was kind of thrilling to get a message in my Facebook to say, you're not going to believe how well that worked. So that was cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is very exciting.
I would love to just celebrate real quick that Sisters Rising launched. So Sisters Rising is a book compilation series that is by women, for women, showcasing, supporting, and celebrating women. And so this incredible women team of five women put together this entire book. It features 9 extraordinary female entrepreneurs, and it's available on Amazon in both print and Kindle. But we could not be more excited to showcase these 9 incredible women.
Fantastic.
I think Juanita has something too.
Okay, go ahead, Juanita.
Well, I just wanted to celebrate. I had a wonderful group that reconnected with me, even though Passion Play got extended to 2022. They called and said, hey, Juanita, can you put a trip together for us to Australia next year? Woohoo! We're booking again.
There you go. Make sure you get a hold of our pitch expert, Sarah Ballin, while you're down there and have her to come join y'all for some little, you know, cocktails or something. Find out where she's at. That would be great. And take some pictures. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. I want to go over some announcements before we get to the events right quick. I did put out there for the Secret Santa gift exchange, and many of you said you wanted to participate. So let me explain how that's going to work. I'm going to put all of your names in a hat, and I'm going to have my grandkids who are here draw them out, and then I'm going to match you up. You can tell me whether you want someone inside the United States only, Canada only, outside, or it doesn't matter. You let me know. I know postage can be that. We'd like to keep those at like $10 US and less to keep it affordable for everyone. But here's the problem. I had all you guys tell me you wanted to do it, but I don't have all your mailing addresses. So today I need you, if you want to participate in this, because it's going to take, you know, this is the 4th. I want to go ahead and get those names out like today to you. But I need your mailing addresses. So please send that to me on chat or email or something like that. If you'd like to participate, strictly voluntary. We just thought it would be something fun that we could do. Again, we're not going to be meeting on December the 25th or January 1st. We do have mid-month strategy mastermind on this upcoming Tuesday from 11:30 to 1. If you want to be a part of that, we'll put my Calendly link in there for that. Let's see what else that we have that we need to discuss. The co-op, one of the things that I'll be discussing in the mastermind is our co-op and some of the ideas that we have for the upcoming year, and maybe some of the projects or services that we would like to bring. So if you want to be part of that and listen in and have your voice heard and, you know, do some voting and some things like that, I'd ask that you'd come on Tuesday from 11:30 to 1 to discuss some of that. Now would be the time for you to put your events. If you have any events, put your links, your dates in the chat right now. I want to say we don't have an affiliate link to this, but I want to promote this. The virtual GoPro that Eric Worre does every year in Las Vegas, they're doing this virtually. It's 3 days of massive, I mean, unbelievable, phenomenal training. And the price just went up by $100 last night. But that is December the 11th through the 13th. I don't know if y'all been seeing on Facebook, Tony Robbins, how he's done where they've got the gazillion screens going on. It's going to be a massive event, and they're expecting it to like set world records. And that is next week, the 11th through the 13th. I know Blaney is not here today, but she has a holiday craft expo event on the 5th. And then I have December the 10th, 9 to 11:30. Is that the one you were talking about, Barry?
Yep, I
Power
put it in, I
connector?
already put it in the chat for you.
Okay, I had that one wrote down. And if anybody else has anything that they want us to know about, put those in the chat. All right, Debbie and Olivia, do you have anything before we move on? Because we have a guest speaker today.
Jessica had her hand raised.
Okay, Jessica, go ahead.
I just want to know how and where I register for the mastermind, because somehow I always miss that meeting, because I know where to go for the lunch and learn, but I haven't. I'm a little slow.
We'll make sure that link gets put in there. It's on my Calendly on that. And we'll, Livia, if you can grab that and put that in the chat, would be appreciated. If not, I'll get that here shortly.
Yes, I will.
All right. Debbie, do you have anything?
I'm good.
Olivia? All right. And I just want to say thank you very much. I had a family emergency a couple of weeks ago, and thank you guys for stepping in and doing a great job. I know I can always count on you. Basically, I think I could count on any one of you to do that. So anyways, I just want to really say thank you to Olivia for stepping up and helping me out. And you know, it's funny how you get so used to doing it. I was crushed. I was just dying, and I still haven't got to do, we're having a problem getting me the replay. And I was just so sad that I just missed that one. But anyways, I just thank you for that. So now we're going to move along into our professional development segment. I promote all the time, multiple streams of income, cash machines for life. And one of the things I want you to realize is, COVID taught many of us how risky it is to rely only on one stream of income. If you only had one, you're putting your family and your financial future in jeopardy. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be introducing and discussing a variety of ways that you can build multiple streams of income and add that to your business portfolio. We've all been taught, diversify, 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 and we know that's a smart move. But many of you thought that that really only meant your investments, to keep your investments diversified. And you wasn't even thinking about your income producing sources. And let me tell you what, a lot of people were wrong and they found that out. You were relying only on a job, and many, many families were, and still continuously are hurt over that. So building multiple cash machines not only is going to minimize your risk, they can help you stay afloat during emergencies. They can help you make ends meet in a down month, but you can also use them to increase your lifestyle, like paying for a vacation, sending those kids to camp. Or ladies, what about renovating that kitchen or that bathroom? Or you could even start another business adventure. Maybe you've got some philanthropy cause that you really want to fund. Or if you're a little bit late getting started on the retirement game, trying to build your investment resources, this might be a good place to do that. So as a member, one of your options is to participate in our small business development co-op program. Every 90 days, we get together and we pitch in a few bucks. And what we do is we fund and promote some different types of business ventures and products and services. They either are going to benefit us as members, or it's going to be a money-making project. We're only limited by our imagination. And some of these things, we're talking franchises, cryptocurrency, dealerships, affiliate programs, special events, real estate, grants for startups, direct sales companies. All these things we could be running through our co-op and making money. So the goal is that we want to model these business strategies that we're teaching you, so to give you an earn as a learn opportunity to see which one might be a good fit for you. Some of them might be right for you. Some of them might not. Some of them you just might want a passive income opportunity and just kind of learn about it. So today's topic is going to be franchises. And our featured speaker today is one of our very own Eagles from Pensacola, Florida, Mr. Gary Sizemore. Gary's going to be giving us some pros and cons of franchising, as well as some opportunities that are available for individuals and possibly some that we might qualify as a co-op to purchase and participate that way. So welcome aboard, Gary. You got it.
Thank you. Like Nancy said, I work with people who are looking for new and or additional careers. Part of that is those additional income streams that they're looking for to build on what they already have. Recently, I've seen a lot of people who were in fear, not necessarily displaced, but in fear of being displaced, and they're still in fear of being displaced because of the pandemic. And one of the things that they're looking to do is to get into a business opportunity that they can have, and they're using that almost as an insurance policy. So if something does happen and they become displaced, now they have something that they've built that they can fall back on. So let's talk a little bit about franchises. What is a franchise, first of all? When we talk about franchises, the first thing that pops in a lot of people's mind is McDonald's. And McDonald's is a franchise. It was one of the first franchises and that sort of thing. Quite typically, those aren't the type of franchises that you would go to a broker or somebody to purchase. You have to go to McDonald's Corporation, or Chick-fil-A Corporation is another one like that. And you have to be awarded that franchise. And it's important to realize that franchises aren't really sold, they're awarded. So you have to kind of go through a process with a franchisor to have them meet you, you meet them, get a lot of information, and then it's a decision on both ends. One, if it's something you would like to do, then okay. But it also has to be something that the franchisor says, yes, I would take this person in and allow them to have a franchise in my brand. So that's something to keep in mind along the way. So let's talk a little bit about what it means to work in a franchise. A franchise is a licensing of a trademarked brand. By that, I mean someone has something, a product or a service that's been successful. It meets all the criteria to become a franchise. And those are, it's successful, it's repeatable, and it's something that other people can take and do. So that's the first part about it is you're essentially buying a license to operate as that franchise. It's a proven business system. Like I said, it's worked. It works for many people. Does that necessarily mean it's going to work for you? No, not necessarily. Again, that's one of the things that you need to get that information about to determine whether or not that system is going to work for you. Most of the franchises that are out there will set you up in that they give you a training package. So if you invest in their franchise, they bring you in and they train you on the franchise as well as how the franchise should work and those types of things. So you get that right off the top, and hopefully that positions you for success as you come out and start your own business. Um, there's 7 questions essentially that you need to ask yourself if you're thinking about a franchise opportunity. The first one of those is, am I willing to follow a system? In other words, a lot of people think, hey, I've got a great background in information technology. I can write code, you know, I can build infrastructure, I can do all those things. So I need to get a franchise in that industry. But the problem with that is too many people like that, when they go into those franchises, they want to run it the way they want to run it rather than the way the system is designed to be run. And franchisees don't like that. So, you know, that could potentially be a problem. And that's probably the first question you should ask yourself. Along with that, are you coachable? Because you're going to be coached through the process. You're going to be coached through probably all the years that you own that franchise as well. Are you willing to work? Obviously, we need to work if we're going to make a living. So you need, you know, a franchise isn't something that's going to provide you money for nothing, essentially. So it is something that you are going to have to do some work for. Do you have access to startup capital? All of them are going to require a capital investment. And so there's different ways that you can do that. And we work with strategic partners who can help with all that thing, but you're going to be required to put a cash infusion in for yourself as well. Can you afford to support yourself while you're getting your business up and running? And I think everybody in here understands that. You've all got businesses that you work at. So you know that the day you start the business, it's not going to be profitable. But again, those are the things that you want to plan ahead for and make sure that part of that cash infusion can help you meet your bills and live along the way as well. Are my family and friends supportive? And I don't know if you've heard, there's a story about crabs in a basket. And what they found is that, you know, if you throw a crab in the basket, he's going to try to get out. Well, the more crabs you throw in that basket, as someone tries to get out, they start pulling you back in and those kind of things. It's an interesting story, and I recommend that you look it up if you haven't, because it can shed some insight on business ownership, particularly when you're talking to your friends and family about it. Okay. And keep in mind, they're coming at that from a love aspect, not from a business aspect. So it's not that they don't like the business or anything like that. It's that they're genuinely worried about you when they tell you that's probably not a good idea for you and those kind of things. Help educate them as you go through. If you learn about something and you get passionate about it and that kind of thing, help those people learn and understand what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it. And that'll help, that'll go a long way to help you out as well. Will I do whatever it takes to make it successful? Obviously, if you're going to start a business, you want it to be successful. If you don't care about success, there's no real point in opening a business. And then finally, as you look at businesses, does that business support your ILWE? And ILWE stands for income, lifestyle, wealth, and equity. So we all have a number for income that we want to achieve. And when we look at businesses, we want to make sure that that business is going to allow us to make that amount of money. The lifestyle, too many people today feel like they work too much and they don't have a life of their own. So we want to, if we're going to match you with a business, we want to look at a business that's going to provide you the lifestyle that you're looking for. The wealth part of it, that's your retirement. And again, too many people in corporate America today say, you know, I used to work 40 hours a week. I had enough money to pay my bills, invest in my retirement, and have a little bit of discretionary money above that. Now, what we're hearing is I have to work 60 hours a week, and that only pays my bills. I don't have that money to put back in my retirement for when I do decide to retire. And so that's an issue. And the last one is equity. And equity are those things we all like to have. We all like to live in a house, right? We all like to drive a car, all those kind of things. So those are equity things. But when you think about equity things, think about it a little differently. Equity things are things too that at some point in our life, should we need to, we can dispose of that equity item, take the money from that, and use that to live the rest of our lives. Now, a couple of things that I tell people when they're thinking about going into businesses. Number one, you should always have an exit strategy. Too many people decide they want to start a business and don't think about how they're going to dispose of that business when they're ready to retire. So you want to develop a strategy that you're going to use. Build that business until it has equity. And then if you're ready to retire, sell the business, take the equity out of your business, and use that to live on for the rest of your life. In addition to that, you can look at potentially passing that business down to a child or a family member or someone like that. You can take some of the equity out to live on, but still you're passing that business down. Then whoever you pass that business to, they can build the business, live their life out of it, and then do the same thing at the end of the time they want the business. So that's a couple of things that are really important for you to think about. Franchises do a couple of things for you. A lot of franchises have a national program. In other words, say your business does something that is potentially good for business to business, and a restaurant, a motel, or someone like that signs on with the national brand. If you own a franchise in that brand and any of those businesses are in your territory, those automatically become your clients. And so on day one, you would potentially start out with clients that would provide funding for your business. So think about that as well. Um, Again, one of the things that you're doing if you go into a franchise, you're going into business for yourself, but you're not going into business by yourself. The national brand is going to provide a lot of things, national advertising, um, things like that, the national client programs and training support. A lot of them have proprietary software packages, CRM, accounting packages, and things like that that you would use to help support your business. So all of those things would be included in whatever investment you made. Okay. Now, when we talk about franchises, again, most people, like I say, think about McDonald's, and that's about all they think about. Right now, the group that I work with, we represent about 150 different national and international brands, and they span some 80 industry segments. So truly, there's something in just about every aspect of life that is a franchise opportunity. And what we typically do is take your information, work with you to understand what your goals are. But beyond that, we want to understand what your needs and your expectations are that support that goal. Those have to be aligned. So we want to make sure that they're aligned. Obviously, if your goal can't meet your needs and expectations, something's going to have to change. You're going to have to redo your goal, or you're going to have to reset your needs and expectations around that goal. Okay. So we're going to look at all of that stuff, and we're going to do that talking back and forth, doing some proprietary worksheets and those sorts of things. And we'll come up with a strategy for you based on you and what your likes and dislikes are, what you can be passionate about, because passionate is very important as well. If it's not something you want to get out of bed and go to work at every morning, it's probably not a good business choice for you. Okay. So we're going to work through all that stuff, and then we're going to start paring down that 140 to 150 different models that we have and show you the ones that we feel that you can be passionate about. But more importantly, we want to show you things that are going to meet that income, lifestyle, wealth, and equity portion of it to make sure that you get what you're looking for. Again, the one thing that I'll tell you as far as what coaching will do for you, we're going to help you get information, and that information is going to be only as much as you want, but hopefully it's going to be enough to get you to the point where you can make highly educated decisions about the next step that you want to take. Okay. I put a PowerPoint presentation in the chat box early on this morning. So that's in there. It's got some great information in it. If you get a chance, click on that link and take a look through it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and I'll be glad to answer everything that I can for you. And if you're interested in some franchising opportunities, let me know. There's no cost to you for anything that I do. So I'll talk you through the whole process and get you as much information as I can possibly get you, and as much information as you want about a franchise. As far as a franchise for the co-op, Nancy, I think that's something that we can talk a little bit more about and see. I guess it would just depend on how you decide you want to move forward with that.
All right.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions for Gary? Gary, you did a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Yes, Bruce.
Just wanted to point out, it says that Gary, in the chat, you said there, here's the link to the PowerPoint, but there's no link in there. So you may want to drop it back in the chat again. I don't think it got in there.
Okay, I'll take a look and
check. I think it was at the very beginning, and
It's all the way at the beginning.
I can see his comment saying, here's the link to the PowerPoint, but there's no link.
Oh, the link was actually above that because of the way I put it in there.
right. It should still be there. And you have to download it.
Depending on when people joined, they don't see the prior chat.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another probably misconception, Gary, that you might talk about would be, price points, because they're not all created equal. And based on your budget, I'm sure you probably have a variety. Am I correct?
Absolutely. And, that's one of the things that a lot of people have misconception about. A lot of people think if I'm going to get a franchise, it's going to cost me $1 million and that kind of thing. Honestly, franchises range from about $50,000 investment up to $1, $2, $3 million. Now, one of the ways that you would scale a franchise would be to buy additional territories. So a lot of the franchise organizations have it set up so that they discount if you buy more than one territory. So you can buy 3 territories and essentially getting a 35, 40% discount on the other territories. That's making it real attractive. Does that mean that you have to invest and start those other territories right away? No, you don't. They're going to give you usually about 14 months. So if you bought, for instance, 3 territories, you would start to develop your first territory, and then 14 months later, you would start your second territory. Now, that doesn't mean that if you become really successful really quickly and you want to start development on that second territory, you can do that anytime, but they're going to give you that 14 months to become profitable before they expect you to invest in the second or the third territories. So that's a scale model if you have something that you want to scale it to bigger and bigger things.
And, they've got like master distributorships and different, different levels and things like that. I know I have a friend that I graduated high school from, and they started out with Subways, and they would go in and they bought up all of the underperforming Subways, and they were fantastic at what they did. They were turnaround experts. and they went in there and turned them around and built up a huge portfolio, sold off the ones that were still underperforming, kept the best ones and continued doing that. And now they have Subways, but they've also done that with Little Caesars pizzas. And I'm telling you what, you want to talk about an empire of cash machines. I mean, everywhere, just go down the road here in the United States, and you're going to run into inside convenience stores now, not just standalones, but I mean, they built $1 million home and they're mortgage free, paid cash for that $1 million home in Texas. It's spectacular, but there's a lot of opportunity there. And, one of the things, actually, two of the things that I was thinking at as far as our co-op would go is one, there might be something. Now, some of these franchises, you have to be hands-on and you have to be the one that you're running it. Some off that way, but there are others where you can hire management, to run those operations for you. And another thing is, some of you may be interested in a franchise. And one of the programs that I want to launch is that grants for startup. And so that might be an option if we find a lucrative franchise or something that maybe one of our members is interested in, and maybe you don't have all the cash. And again, sometimes they have a formula, and maybe you can't borrow or you can't do this, whatever. But anyways, those are things I just want you to start thinking about, that our partnership, our co-op might be a funding source for you as a member. We talked about training. If there's some expensive training or something, I'd be willing to open that grant program up for you to do that. You'd have to pay the grant fund back plus a little kicker so that we make money. But anyways, I just, the franchise model I know is not for everyone, but I really was excited to have Gary to come in here and talk about that. There's also every year, I believe is it the Franchise 100 that they produced? There was a magazine I know at one time that I used to get all the time.
Just came out.
Did it? Okay, good. I'll try and nab a copy. But it talks about all of them in all the different industries. I mean, anything that you could imagine, whether it's dance, exercise, you're going to find it in a franchise model. And again, like he said, that you and his are probably a little bit higher end, but you can get a franchise for a couple of thousand on up, depending on what it is that you're looking for. So just keep that in your bonnet, and that might be something that you want to explore to add another source of income. Are there any other questions for Gary?
A couple other quick things there, Nancy.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. The models are full-time, so that you would be basically an owner operator and that sort of thing. In most cases, you're going to be the CEO of that business, and you're going to be doing the CEO portions of the business. You're not going to be out doing the day-to-day work of the business. So you do that full time. There are semi-absentee models where you would work essentially part-time, and that may be as little as a couple hours a week. It may be, 5 hours a week, whatever it is that you wanted to work in that. And there's fully absentee models where you're basically an investor. You do have a manager that manages it, the staff that does all the things that it does and everything like that. Now, keep in mind, the return on investment is going to come slower probably on an absentee model, but it's still an income stream. And should, again, you become displaced or something like that, you can probably go into that now and become a full-time rather than an absentee. As far as the investment goes too, one of the things that you want to look at is, what's my return on investment look like? A lot of the lower end models have a longer time to ramp up and a longer time to reach that return on investment to become profitable and those kind of things. Whereas something that you would invest a little bit more in will ramp up relatively fast. You reach profitability faster, and the returns after that increase at a greater rate than something that doesn't cost quite as much. So it's a balance thing there. And it's something that, again, it's something that you want to take the time and you want to get the information about and all that kind of stuff to weigh out those differences before you make that emotional decision that, yes, this is exactly what I want. I'm going to go for it right now.
One of the things that's very important that you mentioned, and then we're going to move along a little bit, was the fact that some of these models you can will and hand down, to family members. Others you cannot. You may not realize Chick-fil-A, and I just recently learned this about Chick-fil-A. You don't own that franchise. You just have the license to operate it for as long as you live or for the term. And then and you get paid well. I love Chick-fil-A. It's one of my favorite models, believe it or not, it is. And let me tell you what, they vet you like crazy. I mean, if you actually get to the top of the vetting process, man, you are dynamite. You know, it's amazing. But once you pass away, your money train is over. So not all of them are like that. So that's something that you need to be aware of. So any other questions for Gary? All right. Well, thank you
Put that
very
back
much.
in the chat, so it should be at the bottom of the chat now. You should be able to
All
see.
right. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. I would like to spend the next few minutes with a table topic. We're gearing up. We want to end well our year, right? You don't want to give up. You might not have reached all of your goals. So one of the most difficult things that you've been discussing is generating leads and ideas for generating leads. So I want to spend the next few minutes with everyone sharing their ideas and opportunities on the best ways that they have found to generate leads. And I would love to start with Jessica because she has really got a ton of things going on in her world. She's got her virtual assistance program going. Jessica, could you share some tips maybe with us on what we could do over the next couple of weeks to generate leads to get our sales funnels going?
So,
I put her on the spot. She didn't know I was going to do this, guys, and nobody knew I was going to do this. So
no problem. I've got this. My eyes closed. So really, I mean, the easiest way are groups like this with Nancy, and Nancy will be the first one to tell you, do not limit it to this group, right? There are plenty of free international, global, regional, virtual networking events out there for you. But the most important key about that is once that chat hits your desktop and your Zoom folder, if you leave it to sit there and gather dust, it will do absolutely nothing for you. So you're going to show up, you're going to do your amazing commercial. No offense, but we're all going to forget about you and deal with our lives, our families, and our businesses if you do not follow up with us. We are not going to chase you down to hand and shake money at you so that you will, help us. So you must follow up. And that follow-up should look like an invitation to connect on LinkedIn, an email, thanking everyone for meeting them, including your calendar link. When they accept the invitation to connect on LinkedIn, you should say, let's have a getting to know you call. Include the calendar link. I have so many people complaining to me about, gosh, you see all those spammy messages and LinkedIn, people just telling me about their business and trying to sell stuff to me. I mean, hello, what are you all trying to do? This is a global chamber of commerce. Change your mindset. Change your attitude. They are your potential referral partner and customer, as Nancy preaches from the mountaintops. So, between if you can't fill up your calendar pretty darn well between direct messages and LinkedIn and Facebook, just saying, hey, let's have a getting to know you call, when they say yes, and sharing your calendar link, I mean, you need to talk to me because I can do it on the spot. I have literally booked things. I called the COO on the spot for one of my speaker clients of iHeartRadio. I got her direct line, left her a message, sent her a LinkedIn connection and an email, and I think we're going to have an appointment with her. So I'm just saying, you could reach these people. The other thing you need to do is there are amazing amounts of, if you put a search into, and Olivia, her and I are the dynamic duo. Our LinkedIn is a huge tool that we both just totally love and are passionate about. But she'll tell you also that put the words in quotes, podcast host in a LinkedIn search, and you can reach out to a ton of people. So I have done so much virtual summit speaking and podcast guest speaking, and I have had droves of customers come in. And the other reason I have such a high I have more clients coming in and onboarding than I am prospecting right now. And one of those other reasons, and the magic sauce to that, is I get these kinds of reach outs. Hey, I heard about that virtual assistant thing you did. I heard you on a podcast. I saw you on a summit. Someone referred me to you. You know why they're referring me to me? Because that person who referred them to me gets $100 if they sign up for the program. I know that's not a lot, but I'm telling you, I sent out, when we did my bookkeeping processing, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and I was happy to do it, because that means what? I have a client for a long, long time, you know, hopefully, that's going to pay me a lot more than $100. And I'll tell you something else. Sometimes I knew that person from more than one contact, and I happily paid out both, because I'd rather give that money to a person based on an actual client who's paying me versus pay it to Facebook advertising dollars for maybe someone will click my link, right? Because that's what you're paying for Facebook advertising.
Yeah, and let me interrupt you right quick. This is another thing for the upcoming year. I've been also preaching about this. Do not have all of your leads tied up in one social media platform. Do not solely depend on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Guys, you have got to have a diversification platform so that if something happens to one of those, you're not just killed. And another thing that Jessica had shared with a few weeks ago was she was telling us about how to back up all of your stuff. I did that, you know, and granted, we want our pictures and stuff like that on Facebook, but man, you want your contacts and all of that. Olivia, I want to take a minute. She posted a meme the other day that was spot on, because we talked about who is your perfect avatar. And for the upcoming year, let's get really super clear. As a matter of fact, I think I'll have that as one of our next table topics on discussing who your perfect client is. Who's your target market? And Olivia, would you explain that meme to them a little bit and show how different the outcome could look like?
Yes, let me pull it up on Facebook real quick, but it was just, you know, it was a side-by-side photo, and the different criteria, you know, top 1%, both business owner, entrepreneur, successful, but it was the Prince of Wales, and then it was a rock star, a Britain rock star. And so I'll be posting again on the Facebook page, but it was just so clear, like, okay, you have these ideas in mind of who you're going after, but they could bring up the same search. And so you really have to get down, like niche down, right? Niche down, riches is in the niches, etc., to get to that ideal client, because you can service to that particular segment versus
I mean,
to the
think
masses.
about, you know, women or men 50 years and older. You see how broad that is? Women 50 years and older who have grandkids under the age of 8.
And also, to your point about different social media platforms, I mean, I feel like you're going to find more of like the Generation Xers, Generation Ys on Instagram. You're going to find a different segment, like maybe, you know, the grandparents on Facebook. And then you're going to find like the business professionals on LinkedIn, or corporate people on LinkedIn. So, you know, really do some research onto where your audience is hanging out and which social media platform they're using. And so I just prefer LinkedIn, because I feel like everybody that's logging into LinkedIn is in a business mindset. So if you are looking for collaborations, potential partners, etc., that's a good place to prospect, versus on Facebook, you might be just to the masses.
And so I put in the chat on that note is if everybody would put their LinkedIn URL there so we can all connect.
Yes.
So yes, please put it in the chat.
That's a great idea, Debbie. So I followed your lead, but yeah, everybody, I mean, this is an awesome way to build up your network. You know, by virtue of being on this platform, we should just all be connecting with each other on Facebook and on LinkedIn, because by being here on the Lunch and Learn, you're already getting that warm introduction. So if I see a request from you, Rebecca, and I don't know you, I'm okay, because I've seen you, you know? So yes, when you do an introduction email or connection request, it's always good to make some sort of reference how you met that person, but we already have this warm introduction here. So go ahead, just click on the link to connect. It'll make your life easier. And I also wanted to add something, that LinkedIn has this feature where you can share profiles. So as you're networking, as you're talking one-on-one offline after this Lunch and Learn group with each other, or maybe you're collaborating with each other, use that feature on LinkedIn, create a post, it's part of content, create a post, add a profile, and you can pull up a person's name and give them a recommendation onto your network. It's a 5-minute favor, which will go a long way, puts you in a favorable light, makes you look like a good connector, and then you're promoting someone else, you know, giving them sort of that outreach. So I highly encourage you to do that. And part of my LinkedIn webinar next Wednesday actually will be talking about networking and getting referrals. So I hope you join me on that.
Very good. Anybody else have any tips that they would like to share? Go ahead, Bruce.
I've got a
It's I just dropped it in the chat too. So I've been working with Ellie on some of her programs, but I had a big aha moment with her that our ideal avatar is the person we used to be. We have the most knowledge and experience in dealing with people that have in the area or stage of their life that we used to be. Yeah.
Interesting. Ellie, do you want to add something to that?
I've got a question.
Sorry, I'm muted. So yes, you are most powerfully poised to serve the person that you once were. So I know with a lot of people, we can do so many things. We can help so many people. So we get overwhelmed with the, oh, I can help everybody and I can do all these things. And it goes back to niching down. It doesn't mean you can only serve one group, but when you're trying to figure out particularly where you're going to start or how you can gain traction, to go back and really think in terms of you can most powerfully serve the person you once were. And then you can craft creative messaging and connective messaging to that person, because you know better than anyone their hopes, their dreams, their thoughts, their fears. And you can really craft a detailed avatar. And then when you're creating your messaging, it speaks directly to them. So it's just one avenue to niche down. You know, again, you can have more than one. But if you're stumped on where to start or who you can actually speak to, just think back to something pivotal in your life and remember that you are most powerfully poised to serve the person you once were. You have the solution for that problem or that situation, and you have the experience of solving it for yourself or gaining the capabilities that you use to solve it, so you can more powerfully take your ideal client on that journey in the same way you took yourself.
And then I'm going to add to that, and then Jock, I'll get you next. One of the things that's very important when you're talking about this, and we're in these virtual marketplaces now more than ever, and I don't see this going away. I see this actually becoming even more prevalent in the upcoming year, and we're going to find more innovative ways to use these virtual marketplaces. So one of the things that you really need to practice, and I'm hounded on that 30-second pitch, but you need to drill down that avatar in your target market so that when you come in, every single person in here not only is clear on what it is that you do, but who your primary target market is, so that when we're going about our day-to-day activities, or, you know, we meet other people online or whatever, that we immediately think of you. And like you said, a lot of us are serial entrepreneurs and we have a lot of different things that we can do, and we could help a whole lot of different people. But even if you have to change that each week, just make sure when you go into these virtual marketplaces that when you leave there, everybody is very clear on who it is that you serve. So, Jock, you had something. I'm sorry I didn't get you just a second ago. Go ahead.
No problem. Let's see. I haven't done much with it, but I know some people have said they've had success with Alignable, and I've had some success with Shaper, which is SHAPR. But my question was for Jessica. You were talking about LinkedIn and that people doing pitches at you. I gotten the impression that that was not a very good way to go, that you needed to establish a relationship with somebody first before you did a pitch.
I agree with that. But what I'm saying is when people do it to you, turn it around, because sometimes it's just because those people have not had the right training. They don't have the right etiquette on LinkedIn, but it doesn't mean they're not necessarily a good person to set an appointment up with. Look at their profile. Is it still a good use of your time to see if you can learn a little bit about them? They can learn a little bit about you. Are they a referral partner? Are they a potential client, or vice versa? So when you kind of change your mindset, you've got for sure a person raising your hand that wants on your calendar. Just make sure you craft your reply with, you know, I'd be happy to take a few minutes to learn a little bit about your business and for you to learn a little bit of mine and see if we can collaborate some way so that they don't understand your response to, oh, I want your product. I'm trying to buy all your stuff. You know, so, you know, really, if you think about it, if you were at a chamber of commerce, you would be in a networking thing and someone would walk up and say, hey, what do you do? And you would tell them what you do. And then they would tell you what they did. And you would exchange cards. LinkedIn is an opportunity for a global chamber of commerce opportunity. These people who are hitting your inbox in this manner just really don't know what they're doing. And I have turned many of them around and they've ended up buying a LinkedIn class or something else from me because I took the time to have a one-on-one call after making sure it was a good use of my time. So I'm just saying that that's kind of someone raising their hand that wants to jump into your calendar. So make sure you don't completely just start with the mindset of annoyance and step back and think about it differently. The other thing is pick up your darn phone. It's more useful than just for photographs. Make sure everyone who knows you knows what you do. It's a big mistake we all make. And make sure that you touch base with past customers and people from your past, maybe even past places you've worked or whatever. If they know what you do, they may be able to refer you to someone. And lastly, on YouTube as well, you can get yourself invited to be a guest on these YouTube shows. If you go to the About section, there's a place where you can actually sometimes find their email address or information so that you can reach out to them and say, don't say, hey, I'd love to be a guest on your show. Duh, of course you would. Say, what can you give to their audience? What can you offer as value to their followers? So come in the sense of reciprocity of a gift, of a something, of a knowledge, of something that's key to the people they speak to. Because if you can't show up that way, then you're just going to be dismissed and not even replied to. But it's a very good strategy and it does work if you do it correctly.
Well, one of the best uses of our time, you know, besides that, one of the things that I love about these virtual marketplaces, just like this right here, we're all here to make connections. We all know that's what we're doing, you know, so we're not offended. We don't feel like it's spam and all of that stuff. So the more groups that you can get yourself into, you know, online, but just, you know, you have to be careful because all of a sudden you can have 95% of your time spent on doing nothing but this. And you have to have time to follow up and do all those things, which I'm going to end this with. I've been looking at some virtual business card options for our co-op and for our members and for us in general. And there's two that I'm looking at right now. And somebody will be on here next week to promote his for us to take a look at and see if that's something that we want to do. But, you know, that can take a lot of the follow-up out off your plate so you don't have to do it. It can do it for you. Olivia's been using it. You know, I've used them before and I haven't been using them here lately, but I'm ready to do it. So if you have a virtual business card, digital business card service, send that to me so that I can take a look at that so that we can spend some time on one of these sessions. And that will be our table topic discussing to see if this is something that could benefit you in the upcoming year. We really want to get our CRMs going. We want to get our database management, all of those things running like a top. And I'm still struggling with co-op on that to try and get everybody under one umbrella. And so I know if I'm struggling, you are too. So we just need to make sure that you have a system in place to handle all of these thousands of customers that new customers you're going to have this year, right? You don't want anybody falling through the cracks. And you want to make sure that everybody is followed up, even if they don't buy, it might be just not right now, not no, but not right now. So you want to make sure that you got those drip campaigns going. Debbie and Olivia, we got about 3 minutes. Do you have any closing remarks for today?
I do. And just, you know, we all see like the spammy junk stuff. It's important that we act professional and always put our best foot forward. And I have thought for the day: experience is what you get when you didn't get what you wanted. And that's in the chat.
Thank you. Olivia.
Yes. So something came up in my webinars with Lori and Juanita who are participating. And I mean, we are creating like a building block within this group. And I think it's so powerful because one of the things on LinkedIn is you have this opportunity to have a profile and to really make a statement about who you are. But if you're struggling with what to say, talk to Helen, do a storytelling session with her, right? And then if you're really wanting to figure out, what colors work best for your brand, then talk to Kate. And then if you're looking for ways to just, be more visible on YouTube or do an interview, book a session with Jessica, right? And then with all those pieces combined, then you talk to me and we push it out on there on LinkedIn. So I really want you guys to see that we're all here as an interconnected web of resources, and it's a building block for every step of your business.
Very good. All right. With that said, that about closes us up for our December the 4th Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday. I hope to see you on Tuesday for our mastermind session from 11:30 to 1. I hope you all have a fabulous week. Yes, Bruce.
Save your chat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Nancy, on the link for registering for the mastermind, it's not showing date time available, so we can't register. So there's something.
Not
going.
again. Tell me that's not true, Bruce.
That's happened before.
Yeah.
Yes,
It
it
More
has.
than once.
It
I
also
tried to
shows-
sign up. It was
shows
like,
the same
okay.
thing for next month too.
I never saw the mastermind link, and I apologize. Apparently, the extra slow today.
Okay. I tell you what, I
It's
will
the
do.
hat.
I will try and work that out, and then I'll send that in our Eagle update for today. So make sure that you save your chat and save it for today's date so that you don't get ours confused with anybody else's. All right. Thank y'all very much, and I'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.